From the looks of these plane trees, it could be winter in southwest France. But summer's barely over. These trees are sick. They used to look like this, till a fungus got to them. The diseased trees lined France's picturesque Canal du Midi, a 150-mile-long waterway that runs from Toulouse to the Mediterranean. Louis XIV had it built in the 17th century to create a direct water route from the Atlantic to the Mediterranean. The canal's beauty helped it become a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but the plane trees must come down, all 42,000 of them. We first began to notice the sick trees in the spring of 2006. The leaves weren't right. We discovered that a microscopic fungus had infected them, a fungus that the American soldiers accidentally brought to France during World War II. Researchers have already marked the worst infected trees for felling. All you need is a small cut or scrape on a tree for the fungus to get in and attack. Once you see the effects of the disease, it's too late. The fungus goes deep inside. In 3 to 5 years, the tree is dead. We have no other choice but to cut it down and burn it on the spot. Authorities have already chopped and burned 1,000 trees, leaving banks like this one bare. The prospect of a treeless canal threatens local tourism. Some 10,000 pleasure boats ply the canal in summer, says Sylvie Duguay, a dock manager just outside Toulouse. Many come from northern Europe, she says, and are unused to the strong sun. Cutting down the trees will hurt tourism, because here in the summer it's very hot. The tourists enjoy tying off their boats to the plane trees and relaxing in the cool shade. The plane trees are a symbol of the canal. But the tourists that keep this region financially afloat have been inadvertently spreading the plane tree fungus along the canal. Tying off to trees is strictly forbidden, as the wet lines can damage the bark, letting the deadly microbe in. There is an awareness campaign, but it's been too small, and it came too late. The worry now is that the canal stripped of trees might be stripped of its UNESCO World Heritage status. But the canal is more than postcard pretty. It's an engineering marvel. The man behind it, Pierre-Paul Riquet, lived in this chateau east of Toulouse some 250 years ago. Riquet's dream of connecting the Atlantic to the Mediterranean was thought impossible in his day. To prove his critics wrong, Riquet built a working model of the canal on his estate. He created this rain-fed reservoir, then connected it to another via this 2,500-foot-long mini-canal. It worked. Louis XIV financed the project. Louis XIV had two great works, the palace at Versailles and this canal. Back in the 17th century, we didn't have big backhoes and machines for digging and so on. So to create this canal in 15 years, with 2,000 men, was a huge challenge. The challenge today is twofold: to cut down the plane trees before they die and become a danger to boaters, and to replant with planes resistant to the fungus, and with other species altogether. The work will take 15 years, but it took 150 years for these trees to reach this stature. Even if the replanting is successful, this will be lost for generations to come.